Even though it might be shocking at first, every language has its own orthography. It's mostly about writing phones we hear in a proper graphic way. For example, I once saw someone write the word people like this. In every language, the struggle of writing has different laws and issues. So I'm gonna show you highlights of Polish orthography. Yeah, let's go. It will be a very small part of it though, probably. Yeah. So the thing that, in my opinion, makes Polish orthography a bit unique is that it's mostly a matter of choosing right letters, because Polish has pairs of letters that are pronounced exactly the same but written differently and used in different words. And those letters are H, Ż, U. So the word helmet is written like this, but if you write it like this, it will be a name of an eastern Polish town. Not a helmet anymore, if you didn't figure it out. And they are of course pronounced exactly the same. And in this case, knowing the English word is actually a bit helpful, but we can't always trust that, because there is also a word hooligan. Hooligan? Is that how you read it? Hooligan? That's a weird word. Written like this, which will never make sense to me. And there's also hamster. When it comes to the Ż letter, which is kind of a French-ish sound, there is the word żyć, that means to live, and also żyć, that is a vintage way to say ass. So we need to be very careful. So if you say kocham życie, you can either mean that you love life or that you love butts. But the ass żyć word is not really well known. It's kind of an old word, so it's not an everyday concern for us, really. It's just a fun fact. And another problem about RZ is that it can be also confused with the sh sound, which is an SZ. Because there are a lot of words where we write RZ but actually write sh. Yeah, like przyjaciel, for example. And there is a rule that RZ appears only after consonants, but there are so many exceptions that I wouldn't consider it a rule, really. Yeah. And for U, I couldn't really recall examples of words that sound the same but are written with a different letter, but there is the word pół, which means half, but there's also pułk and półtusk. The first one is a regiment and the second one is another Polish town. So yeah. And the funny thing about U with a cross is the fact that you actually can't call it a crossed U, because it's technically an O. It appears after O in the alphabet, and calling it a crossed U is a mistake, and a lot of people make that mistake. But yeah, it's technically an O that is pronounced as U. Simple as that. And it wasn't always an U sound. I think so, at least. It used to be a double O, like in English, and then like an O with a dot or something, and then it developed to what it is now. The same with Ż, because the RZ sound wasn't always this sound. It used to be RI, I think, because there is the word rzeka, that means river, but it used to be pronounced by RI, which was rieka. So that makes me think that actually river and rzeka could have come from the same word. I need to look that up. So probably the RI sound was just simplified to what it is now within the language development and stuff. So there are rules and tips on how to write in Polish, but they don't apply to every word, so we actually need to memorize most of it. I think I'm rather good at spelling, but there is this one thing that sometimes tricks me, and it has nothing to do with the letters I showed you a minute ago. There is another French-ish sound, two French-ish sounds, that can be really confusing in writing. and these are on and on, especially on, because when an on sound appears in a word, it can as well be m or n. So yeah, there are two words that I'm afraid to write. I avoid writing them because I am sure that I'm gonna mess it up. And these words are stempel, penseta. And there is another one that got me yesterday when I was typing with my friend, because I wrote tempo instead of tempo. That was really weird. I don't think I've ever made that mistake before. And that was actually at the moment when I was writing a script for this video, so and when I was about to go to the N sound actually, so it was perfect. But I think there is an explanation to that, because there is the word tempo in our language, which means bluntly. Tempo means blunt. And actually, a lot of people confuse it, I think. So if you think you're good at spelling, don't brag about it too much, because it can get you one day, you never know. Okay, so that was it. Of course, it was a very small part of the Polish orthography. It is kind of difficult, and there's a lot to talk about. Yeah, I hope you like this video. I tried to make like a trivia video more than actually a lecture or whatever. But if you want to learn more about it, just write me in the comments. But think about it really hard, because if I go deeper to this topic, it will probably be very hard to understand. So yeah. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, and I don't know. See you in the next one. Bye. Why do I always raise my arms like this? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.